Welcome to Good News Conversations. I'm your host, Gino Gutierrez. This show is presented by the Jewish Community Center of Greater Albuquerque. If you enjoy our podcast, please like and subscribe, and consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Albuquerque Journal to help us bring you more content like this. You can find this episode and all of our podcasts on the Albuquerque Journal website, abqjournal.com, as well as on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Be sure to see the show notes for a discount on a digital subscription. Thank you for supporting the Albuquerque Journal, New Mexico's leading local news source. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Good News Conversations here on the Albuquerque Journal Podcast Network. I'm your host, Gino Gutierrez, and this show is proudly sponsored by the Jewish Community Center of Greater Albuquerque. On this week's episode, I have Director Dave Simon from the City of Albuquerque's Parks and Recreation Department on to talk about the new opening of the Esperanza Bicycle Safety Center. We hope you enjoy this episode.
Looking for a place where everyone in your family can thrive? The Jewish Community Center of Greater Albuquerque is your local hub for wellness, learning, and connection. Whether it's our state-of-the-art fitness center, early childhood programs, or vibrant cultural events, there's something for everyone. Everyone is welcome at the JCC. Join us and be part of a diverse community that supports your whole family's growth and happiness. Visit jccabq.org to learn more.
And I'm very pleased to be joined on this week's episode by Director Dave Simon with the city's Parks and Recreations Department. Director Simon, thank you so much. You're the first guest we've ever had that has come back to the podcast, so thank you so much for joining us again.
Good news for our city, and thank you for all the great good news that you share and spread in our community.
Thank you so much, Director. And we're talking about a very cool story on this one. The new Esperanza Bicycle Safety Education Center that is open now in Northwest, or has opened, I should say, over by the McKinley Park and McKinley Middle School in a very needed area. But before we get to this new location, I was hoping you could talk a little bit about what Esperanza is and why the community loves it so much.
Well, thank you for the attention on this really cool program that is unique to Albuquerque. No other city that I'm aware of has a municipally operated community bike shop. So we're very proud of Esperanza. Esperanza, of course, means hope, and the idea here is to bring hope, to spread hope to people of all ages through the wonderful, popular activity of bicycling. The original Esperanza Bicycle Safety and Education Center opened in a repurposed library on the city's west side in 2013. Basically, it serves as a community bicycle shop, and the product there is safety education for kids, but also for adults, for riders of all ages. We want to make sure people know how to learn to ride a bicycle, obey traffic laws, and be safe while they enjoy this lifelong sport and recreational activity. But Esperanza also serves many other great functions. For one thing, we teach people how to maintain and care for, repair their bicycles, so they can, have the power of continuing this activity themselves. It's sort of like teach a person to fish, right? And, cycling, as we know, we live in a community that is just perfect for cycling. We can ride outdoors year-round. And, bicycling is an activity that everybody should learn and everybody can enjoy, almost no matter what your age or physical ability. And the other thing, that cycling does, of course, is bicycling connects people to their community. It connects families to each other. It can connect teenagers and adults to jobs, and it allows people to access, every aspect of our city in a fun way that's also promoting health and wellness. So Esperanza brings hope, to our community in so many different ways. And the original Esperanza, having opened about 10 years ago, proved to be so popular that there was great demand to share this program with other parts of the city. And that led to Esperanza 2, or the McKinley location.
Yeah, and it's such a cool program, Director, and you talked a lot about, it's multifaceted. It's not only for people to learn about bike safety, but to maintain their own bikes. And the really unique thing about Esperanza and this new this new center that's located at 3333 Truman is it's a repurposed building in of itself, just like the original one was.
You know, we've followed the same model for the new Esperanza McKinley Center as we do with the bikes themselves. So as you mentioned, we take in older or used bicycles, some of it lightly used, some of it's more heavily used, and where we can salvage these bicycles and the bike parts, we put them all back together again, kind of like the Tin Man, in The Wizard.
Yeah.
And we then give those bikes away to the community. So we're recycling bicycles through the Esperanza Center. And we did also recycle this building at 3333 Truman's Northeast. It's right on the eastern edge of Villela Park in the McKinley neighborhood, right near the McKinley Middle School, and also a senior center and also a community center all in one spot. So it's a wonderful place to bring our community programming together. And this building had been the headquarters of the Boys and Girls Club of Central New Mexico for many years. They had a desire to kind of shed the bricks and mortar obligation of having this building. And we had a strong need for a new McKinley for a new Esperanza Center, and we wanted to put it in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we were lucky that we found like a win-win situation for the Boys and Girls Club and for the community and for the city, and we were able to make a partnership in which the city took ownership of the building, we're renovating the building, and the net result of that will be a building that has both a Esperanza Center in it and a new teen center that will be operated by the Boys and Girls Club of Central New Mexico, and they are also a great partner and great organization in our city.
Yeah, and I know when we spoke a couple weeks ago before you guys officially cut the ribbon on this new center, you talked a lot about how you really wanted this new location to be centralized. You wanted it to be accessible via bike pass, public transportation. It was also really important that this was centralized in a neighborhood. And I know this, you could not probably get more centralized in a neighborhood than the new location you guys are at right now. How important is it for this service to be located in an area that's accessible for people that may not have a functional bike right now, but maybe can wheel their bike over there?
Yeah, we want people to be able to get to Esperanza without a bike and leave with a bike. So our first Esperanza Center is on the Art Line. It's on the central, accessible by the Central Avenue public transit network, which is great. Our Esperanza 2, or the McKinley Center, is at roughly San Mateo and Comanche, so it really is in the sort of middle heart of the Heights, and it has that accessibility for public transit. There's also a bicycle trail that's nearby, doesn't run right through Villela Park, but it's close enough. But also the Esperanza Center is really in the middle of a neighborhood that's fairly densely settled there, dense residential, some multifamily homes, some single-family homes, and we just know out there in this community there's a lot of need. There's a lot of kids out there who could use a bike, who need to learn how to ride safely and maintain their bikes, and adults too. So we really felt like we found a great spot that will catch and serve a broad middle belt of the city. And of course, that's not to say we couldn't use another one, to serve other parts of the city too. But we're really looking forward to the community coming to Esperanza. Please, now that it's open and we cut the ribbon on November 20th, we're already seeing the community knock on our door. That's what makes us happy. And we hope that literally the community comes and takes every available appointment, and we can get as many bikes, into the hands of kids through our Earn a Bike program, teach people how to ride safely, and have the program continue to grow and benefit all parts of our city.
And you touched on a very important part of this whole thing right there, Director Simon, the services that are going to be offered at this Esperanza Center. You talked about bike repair. You also talked about the Earn a Bike program. Can you expand on that a little bit and kind of give our listeners an idea of, what is this center doing for the public?
Right. Well, Esperanza basically does a couple of things, and it does them extremely well. First is to teach bicycle education and safety. So we have a class that kids can go through. As part of that, they can easily earn a bicycle helmet. So again, they can go out on the streets and ride safely and protect, that most important noggin.
Yeah, protect their melon a little bit.
Absolutely. And secondly, then we have bike maintenance and repair clinics where we'll help people diagnose and repair a small problem on their bike, teach them again how to do it. Our bike techs don't do the work for you. They will show you, they will teach you, that we will provide you the tools for you to learn how to do it yourself. And so that produces, again, the lifelong skill development in the sport of bicycling. And then third, we do have the Earn a Bike program. And that means that if you come in and you check off all those boxes, you learn safety, you learn bicycle laws, for riding safely on the roads, you learn about how to take care of your bike, you help to maybe pick out and improve or build a bike, you could actually earn that bike and wheel it and ride it right out of the center. And, that can be a significant life-changing event for a young kid, even for an adult who needs some transportation to a new job. But, for a kid, a bicycle is like freedom.
Yeah.
It's the thing, that allowed me to, as a kid to leave my house kind of when I wanted to, come back when I was told.
Yeah.
But it allowed me to access my community without parents having to, tote me around all the time. And it gave me freedom to participate in the things I wanted to do with my friends, before and after school activities, and just for the sheer fun of riding. So, all of those things are what we do at Esperanza, but they kind of fall into those categories of education, repair, maintenance, and then, of course, the ultimate Earn a Bike big prize.
Yeah. And, you mentioned a bike is like your first car before your first car, really, when you think about it, the amount of freedom it gives to you. But the one thing that really struck me, Director, as I was walking around Esperanza, and you mentioned it just there, the fact that all of the maintenance is done on these bikes are done by the owners. The staff are just there to offer some guidance, but it really creates a sense of real deep ownership for these people with their bikes. And secondly, the fact that all of the parts they have to repair, you guys give them for free. There is no charge to this.
That's correct. And thank you. It is a free service to our community. And I look at it really as an investment, in our community, just the same way you invest in other things, streets and libraries and schools. When we invest in a program like this, it can have, incalculable, priceless return and benefits for people of all ages. And, it's also a community endeavor. Because not only is the programs, are they free, we rely on the community spirit and generosity of Burqueños to donate to Esperanza their used bicycles and bicycle parts. We take in hundreds of bike frames every year, parts. We sort of mix and match. We save what we can save and recycle, so we have like a sustainable program. But this really relies on the thoughtfulness, the kindness, the generosity of our community to make these programs possible. And over the last decade, Esperanza 1, or our West Side location, it has served like over 20,000 people.
Wow.
And we have been able to hand out like 5,000 bikes through the Earn a Bike program.
Wow.
So, you look at it over time, it's had a fairly large, impact on our community. And that's why other cities kind of want to know how we did it, why we did it, how we did it. Because many communities have kind of community bike shops, but again, none that am I aware of that the cities actually, got their hands on the handlebars.
Yeah. So they want to know the secret sauce a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes, some investment. It takes the city obviously stepping up to own the program and provide staffing and some funding for the centers. But really, it's a community-based program, and it takes a community that's willing to invest in the next generation and invest in multimodal transportation, invest in giving people options, transportation options, and more options, in life.
Mm. And you even brought a piece of a bike with you here today.
Right. Well, I would say, if you'll come on down to Esperanza McKinley, this is what we want to hear the sound of when you leave. And you can get a bike bell. I happen to be Brought with me, Gino, the bike bell that is a little swag item for our new rail trail project downtown.
Wow, there you go.
And just think about this.
Yeah.
You can learn how to repair your bike, learn how to ride a bike, maybe even earn a bike, and then, soon enough, we're going to hear that sound on the rail trail all around downtown. That would be like a truly beautiful close the loop program for our city.
Full circle. And for our listeners that are listening to us now and they're curious, how do I go about donating a bike, or you want to schedule an appointment with Esperanza to get a bike maintenance appointment? They take phone calls. The phone number is 505-224-6668. Be sure to call those guys. You can schedule an appointment, Director, correct me if I'm wrong, at either of the centers. The bike repairs are by appointment. You can also call and learn a little bit more about the Earn a Bike program, how to earn a free bicycle helmet as well.
We do need people to use the appointment system. If you call that number, 224-6668, you can set up an appointment at either the West Side Esperanza or the McKinley Esperanza. And the program's popular, so we want people to make an appointment so our bike techs can give you their full attention. You don't have to wait when you have an appointment. It beats going somewhere where you have to wait in line, and you can get all your bike needs diagnosed and in and out of there and get you back on the road. And at the new Esperanza McKinley location, that center is now open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays from 12 noon to 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm. And so, that number again, 505-224-6668 to make appointments for the Esperanza Bicycle Center. Last question for you, Director, and I know I always ask these crystal ball questions, but where do you see this center being, let's say, in the next 5 years, and what impact do you hope it's had on the community?
Well, again, I hope the Esperanza McKinley Center will replicate the successes of the original location on the west side, and I think we'll see thousands of people served through the McKinley Center in the next few years. But, we have a large city. It's almost 10 miles across.
Yeah.
So I think there's still some need to get better coverage in our city with the Esperanza program. So I think there's a little bit of room to grow the program, to make sure we're getting bikes and bike love, into all corners of our city. And, most importantly, that we give every kid a chance, to learn how to ride, to have a bicycle, and that we do the best we can to give adults those same opportunities, whether you have been riding a bike your whole life or whether you just want to pick up the sport right now. I think Esperanza is going to deliver more hope to more people as we grow and improve and make Albuquerque an even better place to live for families and children.
It's a fantastic program, the Esperanza Bicycle Safety Education Center. Again, opening up their new location at 3333 Truman Northeast. It's an amazing program, one of the very many that the city runs. Director Dave Simon, thank you so much for spending some time to talk with me about it.
Thank you, and this is the sound of good news.
There you go. That's what they hope to hear at the new Truman location. Thank you so much, Director.